Piecrcen. Its history from 1512 to 2356. It becomes a British colony, but at start only Nabla, as the other two islands are not found. And it is found. And then it's invaded by France. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of invasions. Then France invades the other island of Surrey. Just me, this will get really interesting when you get later. Then it's back to a British colony. Then it's invaded by Russia. And then the other side's invaded by Russia. But then Germany invades. Then it invades the other island, but gives it back. Although this took me like 4 days. This took me a long time. Then France invades Surrey. Then it invades Delipdos. Then it starts invading Nablet, but fell. Then one of the islands invaded by Spain. Then the other one's invaded by the USA. Or USA invades Surrey. It makes more sense there. But then they take over all the islands. Then it becomes a US colony. Then UK invades one of the islands. Then USA gave back Nablet. Oh, well, some of the punctuation will not be that good. I'm not judging. I don't care. And this is when it gets real interesting. This is the start. British colony. Nablet gains independence. Those two islands still owned by it, but not for long. Oh yeah, the flag changed just because they gained one of their islands. Basically, like, you know, the whole thing. Basically, Nablet is one of the 3 islands. And so by claiming one of its friends' territory, or what technically should be its territory, it gained a bit on its flag to show the semblance of the togetherness, the union, the friendship, the symbolism, like similar to their kingdom, how it's made up of some of its flag, you know, how they all came together. Symbolism, like the US coming together. And then when I invaded the other island, we got Piecrcen, but we don't. Yeah, it's just Nablet still, because we get to see all their flags. We have Surrey and Delipdos' flag. They're still at that flag right there. It'll break apart in a second, it will change, but I'm just saying it's to do with a union, to being together, a team. Dang it, I'm trying to say. A union, a team, and a formation. A reformation. A join up. An empire thing, or whatever, I'm just continue. Then UK tries to take back what once was its land. Then we have all 3 of the islands. Then those two unite into Serapos. Not for long though. And then now it changes its flag, just because of the whole breakup thing as well. The other 2 left, so it lost its union. And also it changed the arrows by a tiny bit, just so it fits modern day Piecrcen, or, you know, similar to our time. You can round out, like, basically our current time, 2023, Piecrcen would practically look like how it does right now. Like, basically Piecrcen from 2023 would look just like now. Like that colour. Basically, Piecrcen, its main flag, like the flag that I showed, basically. The main flag shown, like its symbolism, is now, in our current time, but it goes beyond that. Anyway, Nabatean Empire, they try and start their own empire, and they get Iceland and Florida, and also Serapos changes their flag. Because let's just say those 2 flags are merged together. That's why the black dots are in the modern flag. Also, soon they will become Piecrcen. Yeah, this is the year 2000. We're finally in our decade. Oh, wait, no, not decade. No, whatever. Century, yeah. And then there was a rebellion. Wait. Well, I didn't know what else to call it. Strike? I don't know. Well, it doesn't exist for that long. And that's around in our year. Then Russia invades, because why not? Then joins NATO. The sea level shrink, because the moon's going away, but this is a good thing, because Piecrcen gets more land, and you'll see it get more land over time. It leaves NATO, then its flag changes, because of the Piecrcen Empire. Yeah, we just removed that part, you know, Piecrcen, yeah, the Piecrcen Empire. And then it gets the Caribbean, Iceland and Florida again, and Ireland, because oh yeah, and then the sea level shrink again. Yeah. Now, I have no hate towards Ireland. Ireland, No offense. Don't like you. Okay, look. Ireland, you're cool. I'm just sad you're not part of the UK. I'm sorry. You can be a stay. I'm sorry. It's just my personal feelings. Nothing personal. Well, the reason why I didn't invade the UK, even though that was its original ruler, and they probably have an easy. Basically, they probably hate the UK and probably would want war against it. I think it would make sense, but I feel like they'd be a bit too strong. Though Ireland, yeah, next best thing I guess was sent. And then we have the Empire, it just shows. Then it collapses, but they still get to keep the Caribbean, which is important later. Then they find a new island, mainly because of the water shrinking, but the sea level shrinking makes sense. And they call it Cerebral. The reason why it ain't mentioned in the previous video was because that was modern Piecrcen. Basically, the last video was to do with 2023 Piecrcen. This is the future. Also, then it invades the USA, but this is when story gets hot. And for you, Pongping, who's specifically seen this, this is lore. This is stuff you can feed off of and implement into your stories, because this stuff means stuff. I got a good brain. We're in the year 2253. Well, they lose USA and they get nuked, which is important, as the island's abandoned. Now, isn't this where all the residents of Thingamabob live? Like, you know what I mean, all the Pong characters and stuff. They all live here, and they live in a society of war. And humans, you're taking over things, you assume they're there. They were there, right? They were there the whole time. They were the existing character things. It just didn't make sense. Proper geography and war is often involved with Italy characters. Well, I thought of a loophole, a solution. Radiation kicks in around this time. And remember Paul? My boss. I mean nothing. Also, the sea levels shrink again, so more connected. There's a tiny bridge in between the Caribbean and mainland Thingamabob. And Paul, a button is pressed. Now I need you. Now I'm gonna ask you to look carefully at this one part. I just need you to look carefully at the part. Also look at the time right now. Anyway, look at this part really carefully. You can pause it. Does that seem familiar? Also, it wasn't the radiation that caused the characters to exist. It just caused the land to look like that. Also, let's just say a certain someone may have gone back in time in a certain way, if you know what I mean. Well, anyway, Paul disappears, and then we have the last slide. 2356. New Piecrcen. I mean, it ain't called New Piecrcen, still Piecrcen, but still. They sit in a new age. We have Pongland, Cloud Also Land, because I couldn't come up with a good name, Amber Place, because I couldn't come up with a name, Mythical Madre, because I couldn't come up with a good name. I mean, Pongland's quite a good one. I think that one was quite a good name. I think I came up with a good name for that one. But then again, can't use land twice, so I used Also Land. And then we have the Portal Islands. Remember earlier in that previous slide? The portals are there. Connects into this new series across the dimension, you know. It connects into season 2 and the whole across the dimension thing. It connects and makes sense because that land was green, just like that. Not intentional, literally was not intentional. And now we're back to where we began when the world ends and then it restarts all the way back here. You know, when the world blows up, then we're back. You know, basically, like if the world exploded, you know, we'd go for everything. It's like time would reset back to the start. Basically, something bad happens. The Big Bang Theory, Big Bang thing happens all over again, and we get back to this time, and it all repeats. Just give me a second. Please don't desert me. I can turn this into a short. I can turn this into a nice edit. Okay, anyway, Paul, he wasn't actually there. He was in a different time space at a different time, but still, the whole colour green for the Portals Islands thing, where the portals actually happened in your thing, which happened before, that was sort of unintentional. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, but I'm gonna wait till this hits a whole 10 minutes. Also, Mythical Madry, that's Mythical Island actually. Amber Place is Amber Island, Pongland. Now, I would have made that white, but then it would blend into the background and basically so it would cease to exist. But basically, Pongland is the white void that you have. Is where your characters live. I made it red because that's the colour of Pong. Thing, but I don't know. You didn't come up with a creative name for them. Just Pong. I don't know. Bananas. Basically, if I turned it white, it would blend in with the background, so I couldn't do that, and even like a shade of white. I mean, I already did that for the other two, don't want to do that for that. So I just made it red, you know, the colour of the main character. And also, we had an egg, along with trouble. Maybe that causes up the conflict. You know, you need to have an origin for those two. Maybe in this new season you have an origin for them. I'm just saying, orange. I'm just saying, both the main birth at the same time made me sang. I mean, they both came out at the same time. And also, Cloud also Land is Cloud Island, and place, you know, where there's Portal Islands. Now, that ain't an actual MSM one. MSM Island. That ain't a proper kind of MSM Island, just that it exists. Oh, that was never an MSM Island. That was never like one. I mean, maybe it's like the continent. I don't know. Don't ask me. But still, Bob was placed right around here, which is actually right around where he's first seen inside your show. Basically, inside season 1 of your show that you created, like, basically in season 1, where you created your show, when it all first started, Mythical Island was where Bob first appeared, and that's where he was teleported to. And also took back in time, because if you think about it, remember my other video? Bob going through a portal? It all cycles up, doesn't it? He gets dumped into the past, right here, to prepare